Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the August 7th, 2017 Informal County Commission meeting. We have a couple of people that have asked to address the commission. Before I call your name and you come forward, we just ask that you try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. You'll hear a little tone go off at the 3-minute mark, so we ask that you try to wrap your comments up by that time. First of all, we have Mr. Barry Smitto with Mars Pet Care. Barry, good evening.
I'm not with Mars. We need to bring them here.
Okay, thank you.
You need me to give your address and everything?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. It's 2402 Old Ashland City Road in Clarksville. I have great news. First, I'd like to say we desperately need to increase funding and resources for animal care and control. I'm certain that will not solve all the suffering and death of animals. The handout I've given to our commissioners has quotes from multiple shelters and rescues that prove we'll always be fighting a losing battle unless we stop the overwhelming flood of kittens and cats and dogs we're seeing at the shelters and rescues throughout the Southeast. Now for the great news. I feel very blessed to have learned about Mars Pet Care's pilot programs. Their headquarters are in Franklin, Tennessee. Mayor Dirt, we can actually drive to Mars now. The Mars family also owns 100% of Mars chocolates and 4 more brand divisions. Forbes magazine lists them as the 3rd most financially blessed family in America. The Mars Pet Care's website says they're initiating pilot programs that include education, policy work, philanthropy, and direct action by Mars Pet Care US. The first pilot initiatives are in Nashville and Franklin. They plan to test in small, medium, and large cities. Rebecca Mars of the Nashville shelter said, "We couldn't do what we do without their partnership." Kitty Catalyst and Chatty Cat are characters I created, and they're placing the handout I gave you on the Mars Pet Care website. We pray everyone will understand that our communications to the general public are insufficient. We must increase their frequency and sense of urgency immediately. We must close the floodgates as much as possible and let the public be constantly aware that the shelters are overflowing and often overwhelmed. We must greatly increase spaying and neutering and slow down the surrenders and dumping of cats and dogs. That is just as important as increasing funding, which we also need to do. The persons I quote in the handout agree. In rescuing, I've held around 50 sick and dying feral kittens in my hands during the last year, including 5 that died within the last month. I enjoy many others and having my heart broken every day by the suffering I see. Mayor Dirt, I desperately hope and pray that you and our commissioners will communicate with Mars Pet Care immediately and roll out the red carpet and request their assistance. It would be awesome if banners saying, "We love Mars Pet Care" were placed around Clarksville and pet owners and their children had signs saying the same and post pictures of this on the Mars Facebook homepage. I know multiple radio personalities who are very interested in doing public service announcements. Mayor Dirt, I'm about to hand the ball to you and our commissioners. We have confidence that y'all will score many touchdowns and save many lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Ms. Tracy Hogan. Tracy, good evening.
First off, I want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to come and speak to you about the animal control here in Montgomery County. Mayor Dirt, thank you. I grew up here and have been back in town for about a year. My husband and I moved, and we've been gone for about 20 years. So I recently, in January, started doing a lot of volunteer work down at Animal Control. And I realized what a huge problem we have in this community. You guys would be amazed at how many owner surrenders come into that facility on a daily basis. There are so many animals coming in as strays and owner surrenders. There's just not enough room. And what happens at that point is that animals must be euthanized. I have seen this, and it breaks my heart. And my mission is to get everyone in this community, not just the commissioners, not just the mayor, not the animal control employees, but everyone in this community has to be aware of what a big problem we have here in Clarksville, in Montgomery County, and in the entire state of Tennessee. There must be big changes made. There must be spay-neuter laws. There's got to be some bigger laws to make this problem go away. The cycle is endless. I go in there, we pull dogs, they go to rescue, they get adopted, and the next day there's 20 more animals coming in. And it's really, really a heartbreaking situation. So I hope that you all will continue to support animal control and work with us. And when I say us, I mean the employees who work there on a daily basis. They love these animals. They want these animals to live. They want them to have a good life. The volunteers who are in there every day like me, trying to help get the animals rescued or adopted. Clarksville is a growing community. It's going to continue to be a problem. We need a bigger facility. We need more funding. We need funding for vetting. These animals come in, they need help, and we don't have the funds to send them to the vet. So a lot of times it's people like me, employees who are paying out of their own pocket to make sure these animals are taken care of. Closing, I do want to thank you all because I know that you have made some changes recently in terms of giving more funding for employees and for other changes needed. So I want to thank you for that, and I hope that we can all work together, and I'm here to do anything I can to help you guys to change this and make this a better place for animals in Clarksville in Montgomery County. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. If I could ask Pastor Lisa Martin and Courtney Aldrich, I don't know if Courtney's here, Lisa, but Lisa, if you'd come forward, and also Courtney Cobb, Ellie Crane, Ben Grayer, Lance McCoy, Quentin Oglesby, Abney Parchman, Rose Thompson, and Wayne White. As these folks are coming forward, a little over a year ago, I was invited to a meeting at Madison Street United Methodist Church, and I was introduced to a program called Project Transformation. And this is a program that I'm not going to tell you a whole lot about. I'm going to let Lisa come up and tell you a lot about, but it's a program that I've embraced. I think it's a program that's phenomenal. It's done some great things here in Montgomery County this year. I think we had 69 to 71 kids in it, and I actually went out and visited them twice, and it's an awesome program. So Lisa, if you'd come up and just give our audience a little overview of Project Transformation.
Mayor Durrett and County Commission, I am so honored to be able to introduce to you some amazing young adults. Project Transformation began this summer. It is an 8-week summer day camp, but it's so much more than a day camp. I am amazed at how lives were transformed, relationships were built, and actually communities came together. Project Transformation is focused on literacy for children. And I think that is, as a lifelong resident of Clarksville, I've always been involved in ministry and in education, and never have I been a part of a program that enhances relationships and builds skills for children's literacy. I am so thrilled that these interns could be here. Now realize when Project Transformation was over last week, they all went back to their homes, whether it was Florida or Illinois or wherever. So we do have some interns that are still here, and I have asked Ellie Crane, who is a leader of Project Transformation in this area, to give you a little bit more information. But before you come, Ellie, I'm afraid I won't get to talk again. I want to say how appreciative I am to Mayor Durrett, who came to Project Transformation, experienced a site tour, got excited about it, and is not only supporting it, but is promoting it and giving us an opportunity to speak. So I'm so appreciative to you, and I'm gonna let Ellie come and tell you a little bit more about this program.
Hi. Oh no. Project Transformation started in Dallas, actually in 1998. So then came to Tennessee in 2012. In Nashville, we have since grown our Project Transformation Tennessee chapter to include Murfreesboro, Memphis, still Nashville, and now Clarksville. So we're very excited to be here. The main thing about Project Transformation is the 3 C's. You've got children, which without the children, we wouldn't have a program to run. This program goes from 9 to 3, Monday through Thursdays in the summertime. And like Lisa said, we're very literacy-based. We have some literacy activities in the morning where kids read for 40 minutes with volunteers from the community. And then there are other ways we incorporate literacy throughout the day. We feed them lunch, we give them breakfast, and a safe place to be during the day in the summertime. The second C is churches. So all of our programs happen within the walls of churches. To this day, it's mostly United Methodist churches, but it doesn't have to be necessarily. So churches provide the space. We also have volunteers from churches in the community that bring the interns dinner every night, so we get awesome home-cooked meals every night of the summer that we're here. And then also those same volunteers come and read with the kids on those days that programming happens. The third C of Project Transformation is college students, which is where we come in. All of us have had at least 1 year of college. Some of us have graduated. And so Project Transformation gives us the opportunity to come lead this summer program. Or my job this summer was to help lead the interns. So there are lots of different leadership opportunities for us to develop our own skills and passions and kind of figure out where we want to be in life and where we want to go. So all 3 of those C's coming together is really what makes Project Transformation, because without one, you can't have the others. So collaboration. We have a very collaborative ministry. That's specifically in Clarksville. We served 72 kids this summer, and we read 1,215 books at New Providence UMC this summer. So that's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ellie. I know all of our mentors aren't here today, and so I have just a certificate of appreciation for each of them, and I'll just read this one. On behalf of Montgomery County, thank you for investing your time and talents at Project Transformation. You have been a positive role model in the lives of the children you touched. It is because of selfless individuals like you that help spark an interest in the lives of these children to further their education and be a positive influence to their community. Good luck in your future endeavors. So Lisa, all of y'all, I just want to say thank you for investing in our kids. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are welcome to stay around if you want to. Thank you. All right. We have one zoning resolution tonight, CZ 14 2017, application of Ronald K. Britcher from C5 to R1 Ripple. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped those. I'll go back to them.
Shall I proceed, Mayor?
Come back to him.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. This is the application of Ronald Pritchard. It's rezoning from C5 to R1. The home was built prior to zoning going in place in 1973, and in 1973, this was the route of US 79, so it was commercially zoned. So Mr. Pritchard is asking that the property be zoned for back to single family purposes. It's 1636 Woodlawn Road. Would note, if you look on the map, you'll see R1 immediately west of this property. This is also rezoning from C5 to R1 that you approved in January. No one spoke in favor or in opposition at the Planning Commission, and the staff and the Planning Commission recommend your favorable consideration to this application.
Any questions of Dr. Ripple? At this time, we're going to go into a public hearing to hear any comments related to CZ 14-2017. Before I call for anyone to speak on behalf of this zoning resolution, just would ask anyone that does speak in favor of or in opposition to please give us your name and your address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. So at this time, is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak in favor of CZ 14-2017? Anyone to speak in favor of CZ 14-2017? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in opposition to CZ 14-2017? Anyone to speak in opposition? At this time, we'll close the public hearing. Thank you, Dr. Ripple.
Good evening, all.
Sir?
Good evening, all.
Oh, thank you. Commissioners, I'm sorry, I skipped over one item on the agenda, and I had actually emailed our airport liaison committee and our school liaison committee. I think it's just a good idea because we don't always, we hear from the school system quite a bit, but there's a lot of things going on in the school system and with our airport, so we're going to ask for updates from these two committees on a monthly basis. Commissioner Sokol has agreed to give a brief report on the airport liaison committee. Commissioner Sokol? Microphone. You're good there.
All right, I would like to begin by acknowledging the fantastic work that the Airport Authority is doing. These gentlemen are totally professional. They take very good care of the public dollars and administer the airport in a fine manner. Mr. John Patterson, who's the director of the airport, is also doing a fine job. He's responsible for many of the issues that have been resolved. Some of the highlights that have occurred in the last couple of years. Well, first let me say the committee members are Sammy Stewart, Charles Hand, Charlie Coombe, John Hadley Jr., and James Halford. And Rob Salome will be taking the place of Mr. Hand, who just recently retired from the board. First of all, after the new terminal, there were 2 new hangars created at the airport, bringing up exactly 46 spaces for aircraft parking. 2 pads are brand new with 2 more pads that are outlined but are not completed yet. We have a waiting list of anywhere from 30 to 60 individuals interested in renting spaces on these hangars, so if we build it, they will come. The next thing that was done was a runway overlay. The runway was moved a little bit further, revamped, and reinforced for heavier wheel traffic aircraft. Renovations are also done to the fuel farm, the tower, the security systems on the airport. 2 new helipads have been constructed and are in use, and I'll get back to the reason for that here directly. They also have direct access from Tiny Town Road Fire Station number 7 onto the installation, and negotiations with getting another fire truck, an AF vehicle. It's an aircraft rescue fire truck. With that, that will lower the cost of the insurance for the administration or the airport, so we'll be saving money there. Direct access, as I said, from the fire station. As you all know, there's an $11 million runway renovation money is in the bank. This will take care of the dip that's in the current runway and also will reinforce, widen, and resurface the main runway. That will also accommodate heavier traffic. Right now, the airport is in talks with commercial aircraft companies, maybe passenger, maybe cargo aircraft coming into the airport. They're also talking about an executive temporary hangar, which will be used for individuals coming in on a temporary basis, a day or two. With an $11 or $12 million aircraft, they would like to park it in something that's going to be a little bit sheltered. They also have in talks with Austin Peay State University about flight school. They are all, well, actually, Austin Peay is in talks with a commercial outfit from Arizona that will provide the ground equipment and the helicopters, which will be out at the airfield. Austin Peay will administer the scholastic end of it, and they will fly out of there. So there will be a pilot program that's going to be utilized in the airport. And as I said before, they're in talks with commercial flight. Room rentals, there's a room that they have been renting out. So far this year, it's been about $45,000 in revenue for the airport. And we have Hertz Rent-A-Cars renting space out there. One of the issues that needs to be dealt with before a commercial flight comes in is TSA, how that's going to be handled. So right now, it looks like we're doing very well with the airport, and it's being remodeled and revamped, and hopefully sometime in the near future we'll have commercial traffic.
Thank you, Commissioner Sokol. Next is our school liaison, Commissioner Genis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, I'll say the same thing. Again, our role as a liaison is to be there. They also have 2 working sessions similar to what we have per month, and then a formal session where they approve then what they've discussed and looked at. Of course, the school board, as you all know, consists of 7 board members that responsibilities are to, what govern the district, developing the school budget, and of course, holding the director of schools accountable. And I got to say, all 7 are been around a while. They definitely care for the children and our community, and to keep us at number 1, shall we say, within the state, as they really work hard to work for the students. During their study sessions, again, we attended a couple during July. On July 11th, they discussed then the inclement weather plan and how that all works. And of course, we saw it in the newspaper here a couple weeks ago where they showed, and again, the school board actually say drills or grills the superintendent of schools on how he's planning, how it's going to work. He has his staff around him as he is peppered with questions, and then supplies answers to the school board and to us. We freely are able to participate and to share in their assessments. That is when the eclipse day here on August 21st came up as to whether or not to have children out on the road with all the possible traffic. And it was consensus that, of course, that become a holiday, and it fit right in with their inclement weather plan for one of those days. Again, many topics are discussed. On the July 11th was a really busy evening. We were there quite a while. They talked about, well, like tonight's amendment that we have for the school, working with the museum. Jim Summerall then spoke to the school board and briefed them about the renovations that are going to be done at Northeast, Middle, Northwest, or Northeast High, Barker's Mill Elementary, and Minglewood Elementary, and being able to look at architect considerations. Again, just like our budget committee, they are concerned, they as a school board concerned with the spending money wisely, how the architects were selected, and again, Jim Summerall was able to provide answers for them as far as the selection process, how it went, how the architects are built into there, and actually each one of those building projects will have a different architect, because it just so happened that each one, as they looked for money, they didn't want a new architect coming in new. They wanted to have somebody there that would be able to either built the school or had a major re-renovation of the school in past years. And sure enough, each one of the architectural firms has a, if you want to say, ownership of the rebuilding. So those are the types of questions that go on there, they look at. They also, which I thought was neat and didn't realize, is that in 2003, a feasibility study was done for Minglewood Complex to put then a police station into there, one of the community police stations. They looked at it, the feasibility study went on for about 1.5 years, and on January 16, 2016, they actually opened then a precinct on that area. And now they've been asked, the school board has been asked, can they look by the police here in Clarksville to look at the Rossview campus for a possible precinct around on that area. And again, they got permission then to do a feasibility study as they work for design and ensure that there's no interruptions, things like this, because everything's working well in Minglewood. Each evening that we've been there, they also get presented a PowerPoint presentation. One of them was on teacher professional development. Then moving to the actual formal setting, they approved all of the architect considerations, and everything I just talked about was approved. Point of Pride Awards was presented to school teachers and students alike for outstanding performance. And of course, they had another quite a presentation on individual professional learning opportunities for the teachers, and just kind of keeping everybody informed, and again, being able to answer questions as far as their goals, objectives, and where they're going in their visions. Again, another focus was on the CMCSS vision as far as with kids and where they want to go. And the goal down the road is to graduate from high school, college, and career ready, which was quite an elusive goal that's out there. It's quite high standards, and they're all taking on, both the school system and the school board, and we totally agreed to take on such a, a lofty goal and be able to meet that with a lot of rough roads ahead, but definitely doable for our children here within the community. They are tracking summer registration, how many students are coming in. They provided numbers and let the school board know, and of course they asked questions on it. So really quite active during this last month, and I have to agree with the mayor. I kind of look forward to sharing and being able to I guess some of the tidbits that go on there as they work real closely between the school board and working with the school administration in that governance role of, keeping everything straight within budget and being able to work together. So I look forward to briefing from now on every month, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Genus. Any questions of Commissioner Sokol or Commissioner Genus? All right. Now moving on to our resolutions. Our first resolution is 1781, resolution of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners approving amendment to the 2017-18 school budget for one-time funding with the Customs House Museum. This is something, commissioners, we've actually already voted on. Mr. Grant, correct me, it was just put in the wrong account, or it was accounted for wrong, and this is just correcting that information. Any questions on 1781? All right, 1782 is a resolution to adopt the 2012 edition of the International Building Code, the 2012 International Residential Code, the International Plumbing Code, the International Mechanical Code, the 2012 International Fire Code, the 2009 International Energy Code, the 2012 International Fuel and Gas Code, the 2009 International Property Maintenance Code, and the 2009 ICC ANSI 117.1 Accessible and Usable Buildings and Facility Code. Any questions on those codes? All right, our next resolution is 1783. It's a resolution to accept grant funding for the Montgomery County Animal Control through PetSmart Charities. This is a $36,000 grant with no match. Is there any questions from any commissioners on 1783? 1784, resolution to adopt the updated animal care and control regulations pursuant to Tennessee Code 6-2, 201-22 and 23, and 5-1, 118 and 120. Commissioners, as most of you are aware, this is something that we've been working on for over a year, going through our current animal care and control regulations, and this is the resolution to adopt those updated regulations. Any questions? All right. Resolution 1785, resolution to accept the donation of land for the location of emergency medical services facility. This is land that's being donated to Montgomery County to allow for the construction of our EMS admin facility. The property's valued at probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about $900,000. It's an awesome donation from Tenova, and it's adjacent to the Tenova Hospital, and this will allow for us to be a lot more efficient in our turnaround times from the emergency room, and I think it'll be a great addition for Montgomery County. Any questions on 1785? 1786, resolution appropriating additional funds to operate an ice rink at Civic Plaza and associated revenues thereto. Commissioners, this resolution is being brought before you when we put the invitations to bid out for the ice rink at the Civic Plaza. The lowest bid was not the best bid, and the bid that we would like to accept included a lot of different things, a lot more skates for rentals, helmets for rentals, had a point of sale system where we could actually use when we rent skates. It also provides some management oversight, and this is actually a budget neutral item. These additional funds will be offset by revenues from the rental of skates and advertising. Commissioner Harper?
Thank you, Mayor. Will this be an ongoing yearly expense that we have? Excuse me.
Yes, sir. I think it will for a while. We've talked to some other communities that have done this. The other communities have actually bought ice rinks. I don't think we're there starting off our first year at Civic Plaza, but I do think it'll be something that will be widely used by our community.
Will the actual plaza be finished by a completion date that would allow this to happen?
The ice skating is, we're shooting for a target date of possibly the weekend after Thanksgiving, and the plaza is scheduled to be completed the 1st of November. So, and it's on schedule right now. We have some steel that's may push us back a week or two, but I think we've got plenty of room time-wise, if we are delayed a week, that will still open on time.
Did we have any additional overruns at the plaza?
No, sir.
That I'm not aware of?
It's within budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on 1786? Under county mayor nominations, animal care and control, Dr. Ben Howard is nominated to fill the unexpired term of Dr. Leslie Burchett, veterinarian. That term will expire in January of 2018. Building and Codes Committee, Commissioner Ron Sokol is nominated to serve his second 3-year term to expire August 2020. Commissioner John Genus is nominated to serve his second 3-year term to expire August 2020. Commissioner Jerry Albert is nominated to serve his second 3-year term to expire August 2020. Judicial Commissioners, 1-year terms, Joe I can't say that name. Y'all see it. Papathasis, I think, nominated to fill the unexpired term of Cynthia Gathers as a part-time employee, term to expire March 2018. And Rebecca Becker, formerly Adair, nominated to serve another 1-year term to expire July 2018. Rebecca's nomination was actually approved in July. However, we weren't aware of her name change to Becker, and for swearing-in purposes, this nomination will need to be approved again to acknowledge the name change. And under county mayor appointments, on the Loss Control Committee, Commissioner Arnold Hodges appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. Commissioner Monroe Gildersleeve appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. Commissioner Ron Sokol appointed to serve his second 2-year term expiring August 19, and Tim Swa appointed to serve his second 2-year term to expire August 2019. In the Senior Citizens Board, this is a 3-year term with a max of 6 years. Juan Ramon Reyes appointed to fill the unexpired term of Maureen Potter, who resigned, and that term to expire in April of 2020. Commissioners, you can see before you the reports that are filed. There's a couple of the library's annual report, the Circuit Court's annual financial report, Chancery Court's is in there as well. Any old business? Under our announcements, the legislative reception will be held on Tuesday, September 26th, beginning at 5:30 p.m. at the Civic Hall. Please make plans to attend and support our legislative agenda. And the TCCA annual regional meeting will be held at Paris Landing State Park on September the 7th at 5:30. We will have a van available if anyone would like to ride, and we'll leave the parking lot at 4:30 p.m. If you would, please just let Miss Debbie Gentry know that you'd like to attend. With no further business, we're adjourned. Thank y'all.